weight loss tips and tricks for you. Today I want to talk about something that I've really never heard anybody talk about before, and that is a food hangover. So I was out this past weekend and I went out on a little date night with my husband Ryan, and I ate pretty well. I ordered chicken Caesar salad, we had some nachos for an appetizer, we had a little apple crumble for dessert, so we did well. I didn't stuff myself, I had little bites, didn't finish my whole plate, and I was feeling good. However, this food that I ate at this restaurant is different from what I would normally eat throughout the week. I eat pretty clean, I don't use a lot of oils, I eat the same foods, I find what I like and I usually stick to it and alternate between the groups of food that I do like. And so whenever I go out or I go to parties or I try new foods that I'm not used to, my stomach is like, oh, what are you doing, right? I'm not used to this, I eat clean, I process things very, very quickly. And so as soon as I put things like oiled and fried foods or sauces, things that my body is just foreign to at this point after my long weight loss journey, I've lost over 70 pounds. Over that process, my body's gotten really clean and efficient. So when I put this stuff in my body, it's like putting bad fuel into a car. It just doesn't work. And what I find is the next day, I woke up and I was tired, I was groggy, I was irritable, I wanted to sleep in, I didn't want to get out of bed, I didn't want to get dressed, I wanted to have a lazy TV PJ day. And it was a food hangover. It was from the food. And the funny part is, before I lost my weight, I was in a permanent food hangover and I didn't even realize it. And now that I've gotten healthy and gotten my body to function properly and more clean, I'm way more sensitive to the negative effects eating poorly has on my body and my energy and my focus and my mindset. And it's crazy to think that I was in a permanent food hangover for years. I felt so bad, that bad feeling was my normal, and I didn't even think it was bad until I go back to that feeling temporarily and I'm like, oh, this is atrocious, right? I've seen the light, I now know what it's like to think clearly and have energy and bounce out of bed, and I know what it's like to fuel my body properly and how that helps my performance and my mood and my positivity. And so food hangovers are real things, and they're dangerous because if we stay in them and we don't know, well, if we're not expecting them and we don't know that they're coming, then unfortunately they tend to spiral, right? So you ever do really good with your food all week, you screw up Friday night, then Saturday you try to get back on track, but you get tempted, and then you say, you know what, screw it, I'll just start fresh Monday. And then we throw away our whole weekend, right? And it's not because you suck at willpower, and it's not because you're this weak human who's not able to stay disciplined. It's because this food is like a drug. And once you give yourself that certain type of food, your body's gonna crave it more. And once we lower our focus, once we lower our feelings of health, once we lower it, then we're more likely to want to stay back down there. And so we're very vulnerable the day after, 2 days after we fall off of our meal plans, or we eat the wrong thing, or we miss a workout because we fall back into old habits very quickly. And so you need to be prepared. You're going to say, okay, if I am doing this, I need to be prepared for the consequences, and I need to accept the consequences, right? I'm going to feel off tomorrow. I'm going to be more tired. I'm not going to want to do things. So maybe, we strategically plan. I don't call them cheat meals. I call them free meals, right? Because you kind of can eat off plan or eat things you wouldn't normally eat. Plan your free meals, okay? You have to plan them. They have to be intentional. Okay? And then you have to be prepared and say, okay, tomorrow I know that I'm not going to feel the greatest, so I have to feel the greatest tomorrow, right? Do I have a big presentation coming up on Monday? Do I have another party that I have to go to tomorrow that I will absolutely blow up on if I screw up today? Right? You have to be strategic. Losing weight does not have to be super restrictive and you're starving and you're depriving yourself and you can't eat pizza the whole time and forget about even wine and ice cream. That's not what it's supposed to be like. Right? But you do have to limit those in the beginning if you want faster results. And of course you want faster results because that's how you stay motivated. And most of the time the reason we're not losing weight is because we have fallen off and given up because we didn't see results, right? So you have to kind of meet in the middle and realize I have to be strategic about eating the things that I am craving or wanting. I have to plan when I want them, I have to plan how much I'm going to have of them, and I have to be prepared for how I'm going to react afterwards. Because if you are truly healthy, you actually start craving healthier things. My body wants fruit and vegetables and wants lean proteins, and I really enjoy them, and I don't crave very many things anymore. I used to want ice cream every single night, and I used to have it every single night. It was kind of like my little comfort. I'd watch after a really, really long day, working 12 hours, 16 hours. I'd come home, I'd zone out like a zombie, watch my shows, and I'd eat ice cream. And now I don't do that anymore. My body, when I do something like that, my body's like, I don't like it. And it shuts you down. And it shuts you down. So be very aware of how different foods are affecting you. Mentally, emotionally, physically, even spiritually. Foods affect us. You are what you eat. And that is so, so true. It comes out. You ever wonder why you can't get back on track after you screw up once? You ever wonder why you end up always saying, I'll start fresh tomorrow, I'll start fresh tomorrow? Every time you fall off track, you keep pushing it and pushing it. It's because once that ball's rolling, it's very hard to stop. And that's not necessarily literally a mental thing that you're struggling with. It's just the physical reaction your body is having to the food. The toxins you've put in your body are now circulating, and it's going to ruin, how you feel and how you process things and what decisions you make. It's going to make you make worse decisions, and it's just not a good habit, right? Because at the end of the day, if you make this decision and it was unplanned, and then you feel like crap the next day, and then it rolls into the next day, now all you've done is you've proven to yourself that you are going to continue to copy this pattern again and again. You are unable to break yourself out of this cycle yet again. You are a slave to food and have no impulse control yet again. Like, it's cementing all these bad beliefs that are not helping you, regardless of if they are true or not. Repeating them and cementing them and proving them to yourself is not helping you anymore. And so please be intentional with what you're eating, how much you're eating, when you're eating, and then pay attention to how it's making you feel. Because that's going to affect your decision-making process the next day. And who knows, maybe you're in a permanent food hangover right now and you don't even know, and maybe this is the first time you're hearing something of it. Or maybe you totally understand what I'm saying and you get those highs and lows of how food really affects your mood, and then when you get in that bad mood from bad food, you make bad decisions and more bad decisions, and it spirals out of control. So please do not think you are above cheating the system. Food is fuel, and if you're fueling your body poorly, you will make poor decisions. And it is not the fact that you chose to eat those things that's bad, it's the fact of how it's reacting to your body that's going to screw you up and make you make bad decisions the next time. So preemptively, if you know this, we can make sure that the next day, after we've had something off of our plan, we make sure temptation is all gone. We make sure maybe we get a nice sweat session in to sweat out all the bad things that we ate. And we're just prepared to say, hey, I'm going to be weaker today, so I'm going to need extra support. I'm going to need maybe to watch a motivational video to get a workout in right away, maybe to go shopping for some new workout clothes to get motivated. I'm going to need an extra boost the day after. And that's what I did for myself after that restaurant meal I had. So I ate the food I didn't normally eat, made me feel like crap, maybe didn't want to get out of bed the next day, but then I strategically structured that next day. So I did have things to do. I had a jam-packed schedule I couldn't sleep in. I had to get dressed and go out, right? So I had these steps in place that didn't let me default to that old Madison, that old me, those old behavior patterns that are always right around the corner. They're very easy to creep back in. So you want to put in as many defense mechanisms and shields as possible to protect it from, or protect you from having that seep back in. That's the most important part. Right? Because current you might be motivated, might be excited, ready to go, ready to reach your goals. Nothing can stop you, but future you is going to have a weak moment. Future you is going to be vulnerable. Future you is going to be on the precipice of turning into old you at any second, at one point in time. That's the reality of this journey, ups and downs. So right now, and every present moment you're in hereafter, you have to make conscious, intentional decisions for future you, not current you. How can we set future you up to success so that the easy decisions are the healthy ones, right? Whereas right now, your lifestyle is probably set up so the easy decisions are the unhealthy ones, right? Ending up in a drive-thru, throwing a meal in the freezer into the microwave, right? Skipping a workout and laying on the couch after hard days of work, right? The unhealthy decisions become the easy ones only because there was a little bit of lack of preparation and intention. And so please check if you have a food hangover. Check, do you think that how you feel right now is okay? Like, is this acceptable? How you feel, is this as good as it's gonna get? If the answer is no, then you are living in some type of food hangover where the food you are fueling your body with is affecting you. It is like a fog to some degree, and you are holding yourself back of knowing what it really feels like to be healthy. And to be healthy is to be powerful. You feel like it's a superpower and you are unstoppable and you can tackle anything. And I want nothing more than for you to discover your own superpower. So say goodbye to food hangovers. Say goodbye to feeling lazy and lethargic and like you got willpower simply because of the fuel you've been putting into your body. Be intentional, pay attention, and watch how food affects you. Just watch.